No. You rise to the occasion. Experience comes with age, and I've been hearing a lot about age, you know.
We are now, and I finally get to check that off my list, and I knew this was going to be a big fight. The build-up for this is huge. The press conferences are entertaining. It's a spectacle.
With only 17 days left until Anthony Joshua and Jake Paul finally meet in the ring, the pressure is reaching a boiling point. Both fighters are now deep into their toughest training phase. Joshua is focused on sharpening his power, timing, and footwork, while Jake is pushing his conditioning to the limit to keep pace. At this stage, every workout counts, and the tension surrounding the fight grows heavier with each passing day.
And I have nothing but love for him, but I'm going to knock him out respectfully, and you know, we can hug and kiss afterwards, specifically kiss.
Joshua's current training camp marks a major turning point in his career. This is his first fight since his knockout loss in September 2024 and the elbow surgery that followed. Because of that, this camp carries extra importance. He's now training with coaches from Usyk's team, focusing on conditioning, technique, movement, and overall ring control. Joshua admits the change hasn't been easy. The new environment has challenged him physically and mentally in ways he hasn't felt before. But he's using this time to rebuild his confidence, sharpen his skills, and prepare seriously for what could be one of the most important comebacks of his life. Joshua starts his mornings with freezing ice baths as part of his recovery routine. The cold water helps reduce soreness, calm inflammation, and keep his muscles fresh for the demanding sessions ahead. He also believes the routine strengthens his mindset, forcing his body and mind to adapt under stress. It's a tough ritual, but one that shows how serious he is about being fully ready for fight night. Inside Joshua's new camp, everything revolves around discipline, accuracy, and constant improvement. He's surrounded by experienced coaches who focus heavily on smart technique and sharp decision-making. Every session is purposeful. His offensive drills aim to tighten his combinations, while his defensive work is built around fast reactions and clean movement. Coaches closely track his balance, foot placement, and punch choices, pushing him to break old habits and grow. Those watching from ringside notice how seriously he takes every correction. Rather than relying only on strength, Joshua is working to sharpen his understanding of distance, angles, and counters. His movement is more controlled, and his transitions from defense to offense are quicker and more precise. This environment is shaping him not just physically, but mentally, preparing him for the unpredictable moments that define heavyweight fights.
You know, Simon, I think he's at that stage of his career where he's trying to rediscover a little bit of that confidence. He's gone to Alexander Usyk, where we're hearing reports he's out there, training with Usyk and the team, trying to pick up something, trying to rediscover something.
That's very strange, Paul, isn't it?
It is, but it's not unheard of. I've heard of a lot of fighters doing that. You see fighters, obviously, it's the old Rocky movies years ago, but you see a fighter losing to someone, all of a sudden they go in the camp and they start training and do little bits together and become friends or whatever else. I think it'll do Joshua no harm travelling, but as you say, he's a little bit long in the tooth and he's a bit on the back nine rather than the front nine, where that experience would really come into play. But I'm just looking at his record here. He obviously, after the Usyk fight, he'd come back and he had 3 fights and then the Ngannou demolition
job.
Well,
Jermaine Franklin, he had Robert Helene, yes, he had Otto Wallin, and he smashed Ngannou, which everyone went hallelujah for, right?
Yeah, but he's obviously not in like the BoxRec rankings to see where he is. But the Dubois fight is a fight where, what you've just said then, Spencer, like, match him right. I felt he was matched right with Dubois. That's just my opinion. Obviously, I was wrong on that and I was proved wrong, but I felt like Joshua would have and should have came through that, but he obviously didn't. So therefore, it's back to the drawing board, and where do you go from there? What do you do from there? Does he keep the same team around him? Does he go and find someone new and try and adapt and add to his repertoire already? And this move at Usyk, I don't know what it'll be, but if he's fighting before Christmas, then he needs to get in shape quick because there's only 8 weeks to go, let's say.
Well, my understanding, he's in camp, he's in shape, and just looking to get an out and get back to winning ways is my understanding. That's why they're talking about 8 rounders.
Yeah.
He wants to sort of go under the radar a little bit, and it's difficult for someone like Anthony Joshua because he's such
Very
a
much so.
commercial commodity.
He's always been in shape all the time, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He always will be in shape. He's never, ever not been.
But it's not about his
dedicated.
physical shape, is it? No one's ever questioned his physical state. Zach, when I was talking about Anthony Joshua, and I know that the president of his fan club is here in Spencer, but I talked about the PTSD issue post various fights, whether it be the Alexander Usyk or the Daniel Dubois situation. But prior to Daniel Dubois, I always maintained that I felt that despite the performance against Jermaine Franklin, despite the performance against Robert Helenius, which had been blasted out by Deontay Wilder.
Eddie Hearn views this fight with complete seriousness, fully aware of what's on the line for Joshua. He admits that this result could shape the final chapter of Joshua's career. A loss at this stage would raise difficult questions about what comes next. Still, Hearn's belief in Joshua remains strong. He says the hard work Joshua has put in over the past several months has restored his discipline and sharpened his focus. From conditioning to sparring, Joshua has trained as if a world title were on the line. Hearn believes this mindset is exactly why Joshua will rise to the challenge. Reports from inside camp describe a fighter working with calm confidence and renewed hunger. Even with enormous pressure surrounding him, Joshua continues to move forward, fully embracing the test ahead.
Was saying that you and AJ must retire if Jake Paul wins on December 19th. Stand by that?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I suppose so. Shit, yeah. Look, I don't see a world where Jake Paul wins this fight. I know that boxing's boxing. I mean, what was it? Roy Jones came out this morning and said Jake Paul can win this fight.
Teddy Atlas as well.
Teddy Atlas. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, now I'm a bit worried. I won't retire. AJ should retire if he loses. No.
Sorry.
No, I see AJ winning this fight with ease, comprehensively, destructively, violently, and I don't see a world where Jake Paul is competitive in the fight, let alone win the fight. But luckily, AJ's not preparing in a way that he just thinks it's a joke. He's preparing for Jake Paul like he's a world title contender. Yes, it's been a little bit of a shorter camp. Yes, we've got to make weight this time around, but it doesn't matter. We should just slide through this guy and bash him up and beat him up, and we should do it early doors.
Just lastly, you said as well that you told Nikisa that he was weighing 290 when you were negotiating. What impact did that have? Did you feel like they would have gone even lower if they knew he was weighing 265?
No, I mean, I don't think that when you're negotiating on a weight, there's not one promoter in the world that would tell the truth about what the weight of the fighter was, and Nikisa knows that anyway. So it wasn't like we were being clever, but they wanted him to come to 240. And it's just, don't forget, AJ's never made weight before. So all of a sudden, he's tried, he'd been in camp for, 2 or 3 weeks. And he's probably sitting at, 260, 265. And it's like, you've got to make 245.